Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Star Wars Stuff Podcast. My name is David.
And my name is James, and here we talk about all things Star Wars. But before we get started, we have some amazing people to acknowledge. So take it away, David.
Yes, certainly we have a lot of awesome supporters out there on our Patreon. Our top tier Patreon supporters are Liam McCallion, Kevin Leininger, Deb McCaffrey, Zach Netzel, Maya Morris, Adam Haber, Front Row King, Cam from Indiana, Mariana Tia Arnold, Rest Jedi 27, and Alex Blundell. Thank you so much for your awesome love and support. Also, check out Legion Sabers. If you want to get a lightsaber, you can use the code STUFF at checkout for 15% off. They have accessories. I know they have a lightsaber rack that you can buy. I was thinking about actually buying that because I'm acquiring, as you can see over my left or right shoulder, depending on your perspective. I have a lot of lightsabers now. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can buy for them. Check it out, legionsabers.com. 15% off by using the code STUFF. So, James, where have you been?
Where have you been? You've been everywhere. You were in San Diego. You were in Dallas. Why aren't you with Colin right now? Because Colin's at which convention right now?
Fan Expo Chicago.
Yeah. I think Haley is there as well. Our friend Haley is also.
Haley is with Colin.
Oh, she's there. Okay.
Also, Colin brought his newborn son. That's 3 months old. I think we do have some pictures for that. And he brought his wife too. And they took a really awesome picture. I don't have it up yet. But yeah, they're there at Fan Expo. Unfortunately, though, he was lined up for a bunch of interviews, and they pretty much canceled all of them.
Oh, no.
So Colin was like, well, why did they invite us? But I mean, I don't know if it was just like a bad coincidence or what. But yeah, the exact opposite from Rebel ScumCon, because Colin interviewed everyone, just about
everyone.
Yeah, 19 interviews he did, and we're gonna probably upload those pretty soon here. But yeah, he's out there having fun in Chicago. It's a whole lot closer to where he lives. Me, yeah, not so much. I'm not gonna fly to Chicago right after Dallas.
Me too.
But we will be at San Antonio Space Con in October, right, James?
Yes, right. No, we're getting things ready. We got the wheel. If you were there last year, we had the wheel that we would spin. People would spin, and they would win prizes. We're getting that ready, and and it's getting exciting, and it's going to be here very, very quickly. What are you laughing at?
Adam Haber says, looking good, boys, but this is past my bedtime. You don't need to read this one out loud.
Well, too bad. We just read it out loud, Adam.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? Matt's all the way in Australia there.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Matt.
What is it? What time is it there right now? Is it like...
Probably not bedtime like Adam is about to go to bed, but it's probably... What time is it in Australia?
16 hours in the future, right?
I don't know. I know Japan was 16 hours in the future, but I don't know.
It's in the same time zone, right?
I think so. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, so when you watch all the New Year's celebrations, Australia is one of the first places to celebrate. Yes, I was going to say 1 p.m. It's 2 p.m. there.
Nice.
I was so close in my head.
So right in the 2 p.m. tomorrow. So just think about that. Just have that going around your head. But yeah, SpaceCon is looking to be a lot of fun. They just announced Sam Witwer is going to be there as well. So that's exciting. Yes. And Sam Witwer is amazing, of course. Just a cool guy, as well as plays some amazing characters in Star Wars. And he's a huge Star Wars fan also, which is really cool to have when you're an actor in Star Wars. Is big fan of Star Wars as well. And I'm pretty sure, are they going to announce any more people? Do you know anything if they're going to be announcing anyone else?
I do know for San Antonio Space Con in October, the weekend before Halloween this year, there's potentially 3 more Star Wars actors that are going to be announced. And the speculation is rampant. We do not know all of them.
Wait, why are you saying it like that? I mean, you make it sound like you know, and you just can't say it on here. Is that what's going on?
Say that? I didn't say that.
That's your face?
But, I mean, yeah, Matt says I have a cool hat on.
You do have a cool hat. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. So I think people want to know the story about the hat. No one asked me at Rebel Scum Con. They just said, hey, Captain. And I was like, permission to come aboard.
Nice.
So the story with the hat is, I don't think I've told the story. Have I?
No,
Okay.
no, you
James
just
just
one day had the hat.
Dave is just like as befuddled as everyone out there. So my brother, he always gets me stuff for my birthday, and it's usually Cowboys related because he lives in Dallas. Let's just say that. So I was looking at the team store, and I was like, "There's a captain's hat on the team store," and I told my brother, "Hey, get me that for my birthday." And I was like, kind of like half serious, but
Yeah.
like half like wanting it, kind of, because I don't know, it's just weird. So he got it for me, and I tried it on, and it fit, and I'm like, well, I mean, it fits, and it's got like a big star, and I just stuck our pin in front of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cowboys that season were having a great season. I'm a Cowboys fan. And of course, it all fell apart in the playoffs like it usually does in these past 30 years. So, yeah, it made me like really mad. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is enough. I'm done. I'm still a fan, but I mean, it's like I'm not going to follow them closely. I mean, Sundays is probably going to be for podcasting now, anyway. So,
hmm
it's probably for the better for the podcast. But yeah, that's kind of the story behind it. And I thought it'd be a good way for people to kind of like see me at the convention as well, and kind of like know who I was and kind of find us and that type of thing.
hmm
So Matt says, is James's background blurry, or do I just need new glasses?
You need new glasses, Matt. That's what's no. It's blurry. It's a little messy back there. I didn't really clean it as much, so I was.
James.
What?
Who cares?
I care. It's gonna be on YouTube. People are gonna be watching this on the live stream.
See, I got stuff everywhere.
Yeah, but yours is like organized.
Yeah, not really. I mean, most people listen to us on audio anyway, so
yeah, fair enough.
But yes, like and subscribe on our YouTube, guys. We're growing a little bit. We did get some more subscribers, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, me after coming back home from Rebel Scum Con, James totally should have been there, man. He totally missed out. It was a great bonding experience, and just seeing all the listeners come to the table. James, you would have loved that so much, man.
I don't know what I've had listeners approach, and I don't know what to say. I'm always like, thanks. It's weird. It's really weird to have people say stuff to us. I'm just like, because I'm always excited. I'm always like, ooh, people. But then I'm like, I don't know what to say to you now. I'm sorry. So
okay, so there was a little bit of awkwardness. I want to say that. But there doesn't have to be awkwardness. I mean, you see it.
Okay. it's that easy. There doesn't have to be awkward.
Let me explain what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we always do a free sticker thing. So I buy all these Star Wars stickers, and I place them on the table, and I have a sign that says free stickers. And people are genuinely shocked when they see the sign, and then they ask, "Are these free stickers?" And I tell them,
"Got you.
You read that?" Okay, I'll get there. I'm getting to that, James. I tell them, "Yep, the sign is correct. It's free stickers." And then people will take either one or two or three, and some people get like really excited and take like, I don't know, like more than three. But usually it's like, okay, yeah, you get the sticker, and people, it's surprising to me that people get that happy with stickers. We have our podcast stickers there, but it's like, it's kind of that thing like in Chicago. When we were in Chicago, there was a woman that like approached Joseph and was like, our old co-host Joseph, she was like, "Are you gonna get more buttons?" And we never had buttons. And Joseph said, "No, I'm sorry." And then she said, "Are you gonna have more later?" And Joseph was like, "No." And it became like a running like inside joke on the podcast about the whole button thing. Are you gonna have buttons later? But people love buttons too.
Yes.
And it's one of those things when you do a podcast, it's not something that you're necessarily into, but a lot of people are, and it's kind of a shocking thing. And see, I grew up, of course, I was born in the early 80s, and buttons were big in the 80s. like the big buttons. And I remember
Yeah.
that. I remember going to my cousin's houses and they had buttons everywhere, and I'm like, that's a lot of buttons. And I mean,
That's all you can say when you see those. Just a lot of buttons, you know.
and then when we did the reading program, when you would like get the
Oh,
it thing, and then they put the
yeah.
stars on the big button, and then once you fill it up, you go to Pizza Hut and get a personal pan pizza.
Those are the best pizzas ever, though.
Dude, okay, I want to tell this story, even though
Oh,
it's not really Star Wars related, but
we'll try to tie it into Star Wars
okay,
later.
well, everything is Star Wars related if you
Yeah.
think about it. So, um, yeah, I think I may have told this story on a podcast, but when I was little, I did the book it thing. I got the pizza. I read the books or whatever. I got the pizza and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Pizza Hut sells tiny pizzas that I can just eat. And I was a little kid. I was like, what, 10 something? My dad went out for like a National Guard thing. He was in the National Guard, the reserve. He was gone, so it was just me and my mom during the summertime. And I was trying to like entertain myself because I mean, no internet back then. It was like desolate and not a lot of fun. So I mean, I guess this would be 1991, 1992. I was watching our local Fox affiliate, and they showed the movie Alien during the day, totally edited for TV.
Okay, good.
I saw it for the first time, and I'm like, I think that was my first experience with depression, because I saw that movie and I was like, wait a minute, the future could be like this? I was like, I never thought about that before. I mean, it was devastating to me.
Mhm.
And I just remember I was like, I got to cheer myself up. And I told my mom, I was like, can we just go to Pizza Hut and get one of those pizzas? And she was like, okay, let's go. And I just remember wanting to like take a shower. And when
After watching.
you're not that like prone to wanting to go take a shower, but it
Mhm.
was just so dirty and even more so than Star Wars. Star Wars is already dirty. The original trilogy is like,
Yeah.
A New Hope is just filthy. But it was just even more grimy and like dirty, and like you just saw the truckers in space, and I was like, yeah, I need to take a shower. I need to like put on like something happy, because it depressed me. And then I didn't like it. And then of course, when I became an adult, I became to appreciate it. And of course, now you see the face hugger right there.
Yeah.
That we got at Hall H. So, and me and Ted on Countdown City, we're doing an after show every Tuesday night for every single Alien Earth episode. So yeah, I grew to love it, but I mean, just the power of that movie, it freaked me out.
How we can tie it into Star Wars is like that was the next movie that Ridley Scott did after he saw Star Wars. So
Right.
he
Yeah.
saw Star Wars and said, okay, I need to do something science fiction. And then it was Alien. Thank God he saw Star Wars, because Alien is amazing.
Yes, there's a terrific soundbite of him if you watch one of the documentaries on the DVD way back when they released it. They're talking all kinds of directors like John Singleton, Ridley Scott, Spielberg, and like very matter of factly, Ridley Scott was like, and this guy's making Star Wars. He's like, I had to basically step my game up. I'm paraphrasing, but
Yeah.
James Cameron was in there too, and he was like, I was a truck driver back then, and it just blew me away. And they talked to John Singleton too, and he never made a science fiction movie, but I mean, it truly inspired him, and it did the same to a lot of people. So that's most people that saw it, especially back then, where nothing like that existed.
And I know we say it all the time, and you hear it all the time, with podcasters as well as filmmakers, but it's really hard to imagine Star Wars was the first of its kind. Movies didn't look like that. And nowadays it's kind of saturated. It's kind of like, oh, we know movies, science fiction, special effects, visual effects. This is how it looks. But at that time, 2001: A Space Odyssey was like it. And it's glorious. 2001: A Space Odyssey looks incredible. But then George Lucas pushed it even further, and no one had ever dreamt of doing that in movies. And so it's always interesting to think like no one had seen it, but now we're just so like, oh, it's Star Wars. But Just to imagine that first time watching it, what that felt like.
That's an interesting point, James. What was the first movie that kind of blew you away?
I know. I know exactly which movie blew me away when I first saw it. It was Jurassic Park. That first time seeing that Brachiosaurus walking, I remember I was like, dinosaurs are real. Like I was just I never seen anything like that, and I'll never forget that feeling of that moment where Alan Grant pulls her head over and they look up and then you see it walking. I'll never forget that moment when I was like 5 years old when I saw that.
Yeah, I got so much to say about that, James. It's not even funny. Yeah, you said Jurassic Park. I think a lot of people around our age bracket will say Jurassic Park, but for me, it was like the first like movie kind of or maybe the second after Star Wars, but like just like mind explosion was The Abyss.
Oh
And I
yeah,
had been seeing a lot of documentary type stuff that you would normally see on like DVD stuff, but on like the Discovery Channel and stuff like that, where they were going behind the scenes. And I don't remember them saying Photoshop, but that's essentially what they used. But I just remember them talking about this was a they called it the pseudopod, and they said
yeah,
that it was the first time ever we were able to manipulate something on the computer and have it in the film and make it like morph and have like liquid look realistic. And I remember them saying that this is a huge step into doing more incredible things, and that was like early 90s. I think it was like 92 or whatever. And that's what kind of blew me away. I think it's a scene where it matches the face of the
yeah.
actor.
It turns into the
Yeah,
actress and into Ed Harris's face as well.
yeah.
And
And I remember renting that movie on VHS and watching. Of course, it was horrible quality, but
oh yeah,
I just remember seeing that. And then, of course, they also gave the notion of like aliens being here for a long time. I guess spoilers for Abyss,
great movie by the way.
but yeah, I mean, the Jurassic Park thing, that was an even bigger mind blowing situation. But I think the Abyss was first. But yeah, with Jurassic Park, man, that dominated my life just the same way that episode 1 dominated my life and episode 7 just dominated my life. That's all I
Yeah,
could think about. Um, and it was the best time, man. I mean,
yeah.
there was
I,
like the toy tie-ins, the fast food tie-ins. It was McDonald's. I was
Pizza
going to
Hut.
summer camp. Yeah. I was going to summer camp. I would go to the wave pool. My mom would pick me up from the wave pool, take me to McDonald's, get me the Jurassic Park meal, and then I'd go home and watch something on VHS. And it was like heaven, dude.
So I know listeners, we're gonna get to Star Wars here eventually. We're just nerding out here, okay?
Really
I
for Star Wars
promise.
that we're talking about.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, I remember when they did the re-release of Jurassic Park. I think back in 2012 when they did like the 3D re-release, and I went to go see it. One of my friends was like, "This was our Star Wars," and I was like, I started thinking, and I was like, "You're right. This was kind of that moment for us as kids to just be wowed because we had never." That type of look to a film had never been done before with
yeah,
Jurassic Park.
that substantial of a leap
Yes, the
it
and
be
the
making
break.
special effects.
And I remember Phil Tippett, he jokes saying like, by the end of the shoot, we were like professionals. Like, Spielberg rewrote the ending with the T-Rex coming in and eating the two raptors,
Yeah.
and he was like, by that point, we were professionals. He goes, we had a T-Rex like 3 feet away from the camera. He was like, we had no business doing that, but we were like, oh, we can do it. It's gonna look great. And sure enough, it looks amazing. So, anyways, yeah. Oh, what did Matt say? First movie to blow my mind. Yeah, A New Hope as a
Yeah.
4-year-old. Yep.
I was -4.
I was negative hold up, sorry. I was negative 11 when A New Hope came out. So
Yeah.
I missed it by a bit. But I do remember watching Star Wars for the first time and really enjoy. I think for me, when I saw Star Wars as a kid, I believe I'd already seen Jurassic Park, or it was around that time. Um, for me, I was more in love with the story of Star Wars than I was with the look of it. I didn't appreciate the look until I got older, but when I was a kid, when I first watched it, the story is what got me. It was, the good versus evil, the heroes, the villains, and of course the big climactic space battle at the very end was just amazing. I didn't appreciate how great that space battle was until I got older. When I was a kid, I just thought it was a really cool looking
Which space
sequence. A New Hope.
Okay, A New Hope.
Yeah. Which I'm going to say this right now. That's the best space battle. I that is controversial. I know, but that is the best space battle because I did Andor, Rogue One, A New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi. I did them all as soon as Andor season 2 ended, and it's going to tie in here pretty soon with Andor. But after watching it all, I was like, man, A New Hope space battle is still probably the best. There's so much going on. There's so much at stake.
Countdown, James, because that's like saying the Beatles is the best rock band.
They are
huge Beatles. Yeah, you're a
I'm a big Beatles fan. I got a poster of the Beatles over here on my wall.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I mean, yeah, they're the first. But yeah, I want to circle back to the table and the awkwardness because
yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. So I mean, it's great. I mean, to be at a Star Wars convention, and the thing that I didn't realize until the last day, and I was able to articulate this somewhere. I remember maybe it was on the podcast. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was on the podcast that we did with Will of the Force, Grayson, and Carly King. I said I've been wishing and hoping for a celebration in Texas, and Rebel Scum Con is basically that. It's basically celebration in North Texas. So yeah, I'm telling you, James, you missed out. Everyone missed out. If you didn't go, it was a lot of fun. I mean, all the celebrities there, and they were freely walking around. People were respecting them. There was 501st walking around, really cool costumes. I mean, everyone has to go to this, and it's going to be bigger next year. It's probably going to be held somewhere else next year.
I will say Japan did kind of take a lot of that away from me this year, but I think next year, since there is no Japan celebration, I'm going to be most likely there at Rebel Scum Con. So yeah.
So okay, here's the thing. So people were walking up to our table getting the stickers. Okay, so then when they would choose the sticker, then I'd kind of like say, yeah, we're the Star Wars Stuff podcast. We talk all things Star Wars. And so many people would just look me straight in the eye and say it like this. And I'm not joking. I listen to you. I know who you are. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
Is that a threat?
I don't know. But a lot of people told me like that. They're like, oh, I know. I listen to you guys. And I'm like, fantastic. Yeah, so we're doing this raffle here. And then some people would proceed to tell me about certain things we've talked about on the podcast. So, yeah, I mean, it was never like threatening or bad or negative or anything, but the interaction between me and some of the people that listened was interesting. Because I mean, we're not, I don't think we're like widely like, well, I don't know how to say this, but I mean, we're all on every major platform. We're on YouTube. We don't have a big YouTube presence, even though we've been there for a while. We really don't advertise it a whole lot. But yeah, on audio, people do listen to us. And it was just very interesting to hear so many people say, yeah, we listen. And then if they did that at the beginning of the convention at Rebel Scum Con, we were at the beginning of the entrance, so they would have to pass us again. So it was either them like pass by and say hi, or them have to look straight forward and just kind of ignore me.
Yeah, like, oh.
Or look the other way. And I was just like, okay, this is going to be happening all weekend. But some listeners would always walk by and just smile at me, and I'd wave back, or they would wave to me. I'd wave hi. and it got like really redundant, but I would just still do it because I mean, I know this person now,
Mhm.
and that I've had a conversation with this person, and we had a listener talk to me for a very long time, gave me all of his opinions. He was a how do I say this? He wasn't okay. So let me say this: my brother was there with me. Okay,
Okay.
my brother Pete that lives in Dallas. He came to the convention too, and I wanted him to be there at the table so I could leave and do stuff. But every time I wanted to leave and do stuff, he was like, "Oh, I gotta go. I'll be right back." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Okay." It's all good. I like being at the table and meeting people. But a guy came up and he's like, "Hey, Star Wars Stuff podcast." He's like, "I listen." I'm like, "Okay, cool. You're one of the like few people that just come out and just say it." And I was like, "Great." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I like you." And then he goes, "Him, not so much." And he pointed to my brother, who's not on the podcast. And I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, does he think my brother is me? And I didn't get that clarification. And he's like, "Yeah, old guy." And he's like, "Let me take some stickers."
oh my goodness.
So we started talking about stuff, and he talked about how he liked the podcast, and he's like, "Oh, hey, can I come around and sit down with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he sat down with me, and we proceeded to have this conversation about stuff, and he was like, "Where's the other guy?" And I'm like, James didn't make it." And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, James, okay." And we just started talking about Star Wars stuff, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it was an experience. I don't think anyone's talked to us for that long. I mean, it was a good like 30 minutes, man. I mean, it was a while. It was like a little lull in the convention.
Hmm.
I think it was maybe like the second day. But it turns out I think he helps some influencers too. So yeah, we'll probably see him around in the picture in the future. Um,
Nice.
he was wearing this totally awesome shirt, man. And I was kicking myself why I never thought of this, but the entire shirt was Watto's like head and torso, and right across the top, it said "Only money." And I read it like that in Watto's voice in my head, and I was like, "Oh, genius!
That's
I should have thought of
awesome.
this."
That
So
is so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, it was real cool. And he told me where he got it, and I was like, "Man, I'm never gonna remember this." Because I mean, multiple people were coming up to talk to us and stuff. But
Well, if I'm there at SpaceCon, I'll be sure to write down all the conversations we have with everybody, and so we can have we can
yeah,
shout them out on the podcast.
yeah, I got to spend time with my brother Colin. Like I said, was doing like 19 interviews. He got to essentially interview everyone that was interviewable that you could interview that didn't have like a blockade. I think it's safe to say like Katie Sackhoff had the blockade. Sam Witwer had the blockade because they're active right now in Star Wars doing Star
Hmm.
Wars projects. Katie, you figure she's in Mando Grogu or doing something in the future. She's very happy. So I think that's a sign that she's still very much involved in Star Wars. Or, I mean, she was making out great at this convention. I don't know. I think she's still involved in Star Wars,
And
but
plus, she's working too. I think she had a movie, a movie come out this past year. She's in a film.
I think there's a movie coming out with I think is it Joel Kinnaman, the guy that played RoboCop, and that was
Mm.
like Rick Flag, I think, in
Hmm.
Suicide Squad. But yeah, I mean, she's a working actress, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. You missed out, James. You should have been there.
Well, anyways, back to Deadpool here.
Yeah. So the first name on the title of the podcast is George. So James, why didn't you tell everyone about George?
George Lucas is the creator of Star Wars. No, he was seen in Chicago with his wife at a basketball game.
Right.
Yes, that's his wife next to him, which I don't know why people freak out. It's like why are y'all talking? Like it's so weird. Like that's his wife. It's like yeah. And anyways, um, looks happy, having a great time, and yeah, of course, if George Lucas shows up anywhere, everyone's gonna take pictures of him. I guess because also he is the richest celebrity in the world, so everyone's going to be taking pictures of him. And yeah, so nice to see him out and about there in Chicago. I was wondering if this was related to him or related to the convention, like he was going to show up at the convention there in Chicago, but no, he's not.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the picture of George and Melody, his Melody Hobson, his wife. And they are in Chicago. They're at a Chicago Sky game, I believe. You can see WNBA at the top.
WNBA, yeah.
So George lives in Chicago. That's his quasi-permanent residence, or maybe it's his permanent residence. I don't know. I don't keep track of where George Lucas lives, but
what?
As a museum that's going to be in LA, which he talked about at his Comic-Con panel for the very first time, which I was there present to see him with a lot of people in the press cage. And he wanted to initially build that museum in Chicago, but the city council didn't think that was a great idea. He went back and forth with them. I guess he got the runaround. He said, "Okay, well, I'm just going to put it in LA. It makes sense to put it there." I think, I mean, it's common sense to put it like in California somewhere, because I mean, you have Skywalker Sound and you have multiple Lucasfilm locations in California now. Just makes sense.
And plus, it's near USC where he, went to college. So
Right. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, Chicago, it was a little bit of a head scratcher for me. I know he lives there and he's raising his child there with Melody.
He really wanted, as David said, he really wanted it in Chicago. And the runaround, they kept him going around for a while. Like this museum should have been built a couple of years ago, but everything with Chicago didn't work out for him. And there's I think if you go online, there's mock-ups, there's renderings of where the museum was going to be and how it was going to look. And unfortunately did not happen. But I was like, oh, is he going to show up at the convention and freak out Colin? But no, he did not. He just lives in Chicago. So
yeah. And George Lucas is one of those I guess celebrities, quote unquote, that when you see him in real life, he looks the same as he does on TV. Some of these celebrities don't look the same, and it's a weird phenomenon. I'm pretty sure there's a word for it, but when you see certain people, they either look different or they look better. And I don't want to say they look worse, but I guess maybe that's because you've seen them more so as a younger person than you have years and sometimes maybe decades down the line. But yeah, Comic-Con does that to me. When you see people up close, George is just one of those that looks like George Lucas.
It's George Lucas.
Yeah, that's I could spot him. That's him. That's not a clone. That's not his body double. That looks like George Lucas to me. So Chicago Fan Expo is happening out there. Colin is out there with his family. Also, Hayden Christensen is out and about, and Hayden Christensen is feeling a whole lot more comfortable doing more public things, and he really wasn't in the past, I want to say, but he did the thing I did. James and Joseph didn't want to go to a Cubs game.
Yeah, we didn't go.
I wanted to go to the Cubs game because I guess I'm technically the sports person. I love team sports. And the Cubs is an iconic Major League Baseball franchise. I mean, they had a long, massive drought. There was a curse on them, just like the Red Sox. And I actually mentioned the GM Theo Epstein on another podcast, how he helped the Red Sox win a championship, and then he helped the Cubs win a championship, which was unprecedented. And he's going to go to Hall of Fame for it, like automatically. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Mm-hmm.
Did it for both teams, broke the curse. No one could do it. But the Cubs invited him to their seventh inning stretch tradition of you sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," which is an iconic song that is sung at Wrigley Field. And they get celebrities to do it. sometimes. Ozzy Osbourne's done it. Yeah, rest in peace, Ozzy.
Yeah, R.I.P. Ozzy. Yeah.
But yeah, the fans really didn't like his rendition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" because he was like, he wasn't even really saying the words. He was just like, you know. And
Yeah.
I think his wife Sharon was really enunciating.
Mm-hmm.
But so I got pictures if you're watching this on YouTube or Twitter of Hayden out there, and they gave him a custom jersey that says Christensen with the number 66 on it.
Beautiful.
It was a great touch. I mean, it had to have been Star Wars fan that did this. Because I mean, they could have put like the stereotypical cliche 77 for Star Wars, but they put 66, which is great. It's on the front and the back. And you notice his hair, he has the Anakin hair there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's got the hockey haircut. He's got the old business in the front, party in the back there. So yeah, we got this picture here. He's out at the warning track at Wrigley Field, and I got to go during 2019's Chicago celebration, which was great. Marked a thing off my bucket list. And here's Hayden posing with the Chicago Cubs mascot. And
wow.
Yeah, it's a newer mascot. I don't think I saw him when I went, but yeah, he looks like he's having a great time. And if you go out and watch the video, he's actually with his daughter, who looks almost identical to his. Is it his ex-wife? I don't.
It's
his
his ex-wife. Yeah.
It's interesting because they were in Japan together, but then people tell me, oh, it was a family thing, so they were just together. But she looks like her mom, which is Rachel Bilson, and she has like fame from the OC TV show, I believe.
Yeah,
she was just like her. They sung "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and right at the beginning, this like fighter jet, this like blue angel flies, like does like a flyby, and you see the crowd, especially the women, just like freak out because that's not a common occurrence. It shocked everyone. And Hayden is trying to sing, and he starts laughing.
Yeah.
And thankfully, he held it together. He sung the entire song. He sung it great. And it was an interesting thing because, I mean, you hardly see Hayden in these types of like public situations. And everyone seemed like they were approving of him being there, even the announcers. And of course, James, we remember it was not so long ago where people didn't look so great on the prequels. So
no, people did not like him.
I love seeing it. I love that he did it. I love that he's doing more public stuff. And it was cool. I mean, it's just a cool thing. And we all know he's a big Toronto Maple Leafs fan because, of course, he's Canadian. He's from Canada. He always wears the Maple Leaf cap. He represents his home team, which I'm fine with. If he didn't, I'd not be okay with it. But and I mean, the Cubs, they're kind of one of those like American teams that everyone kind of pulls for them, and they're like kind of the lovable losers in a way. There's so many seasons of them not doing so great. And of course, if you grew up with WGN or TBS, the super stations on cable, WGN is based out of Chicago. So you got all the Cubs games. So I would see Cubs games after all my cartoons like Ghostbusters and Cops, and not the reality show Cops, but there's a cartoon show called Cops.
I was going to say,
the intro, it's really good. It's really good. It has like its own mythology. It's like Marvel. It's like a comic book type thing. It's really good. Ghostbusters, not so much. It was a weird, like
the real Ghostbusters.
It wasn't the real Ghostbusters. It
was okay.
Some kind of like third-party Ghostbusters where there was more like spookiness and like Halloween
Scooby-Doo
atmosphere. Kind of, sort of. I don't remember. I remember not liking it and like thinking this has nothing to do with like Egon and Ray and all
Peter.
Those guys. And I'm like, yeah, Peter. I'm like, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna just not watch this. But they would air it all the time on WGN. So
I want to say this about Hayden Christensen.
Yeah,
I think what turned it all around for Hayden Christensen was in 2017 when you and I were in the same room for the 40th panel of Star Wars, and he came out with Ian McDermott, if I'm not mistaken. Was that correct?
You are correct.
Yeah, that reception he received, I remember everyone stood up and applauded for him. Everyone yelled for a while, and you can kind of see it in his face. He was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I think even the crowd as well was also shocked. Like some people in the crowd were looking around, going, "Wow, people are like, this is incredible." And it was like the first time it felt like people were accepting of him again. I mean, there's been a group that has loved him since the beginning, but it was just this moment of like those kids now have grown up and there they are at Celebration screaming and yelling for him, and it felt like that was the beginning of what we have today with Hayden Christensen, with him coming back. And during the Ahsoka panel, Dave Filoni even like pointed that out to Hayden Christensen and was like, dude, that applause wasn't for you, got the biggest applause. They said you like they love you out there. And Hayden Christensen was like, no, no. He goes, no, dude, that was you. That was all you. And of course, later on, I think it was at what 2021 or 20 Anaheim, when he came out for in Anaheim. That, I mean, the camera was in on his face and he had some tears in his eyes, because I it's sad to think he never expected to be at that level. And now there he is at a Cubs game and everyone loves him, and no one's not like, oh, what's he doing here? Everyone's like, yeah, Hayden Christensen's here. Like, it's amazing.
It's that thing of being cast in a very big franchise and it not doing the thing for you that it did for the other actors.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wait 20 years and you all of a sudden get it. You get the recognition from the fans that you were expecting when you initially had your films released. And you're like, I don't understand, but we do understand, because all the kids then are now adults and love him like they loved Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill.
Yeah, he is.
It's an incredible thing.
Yeah, when it comes to like the Star Wars celebrities, and David and I have talked about this before, he is up there with Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford, and as with reception of what's up,
he is now.
Yeah, he is.
He's there.
He's up there, and like to the point, when we were at SpaceCon last year and they did the panel with him and Rosario Dawson, you had to pay to go to that panel. It was sold out. I mean, it was completely sold out. It was insane that every seat in that auditorium was full. And I was like, whoa, this is incredible.
And for Hayden Christensen's autographs and photo ops at SpaceCon, they gave him an entire building to house the people, because they'll just burn up in the Texas heat. Same thing with Dallas Fan Expo. I went there on behalf of Countdown City. I never saw him. And I'm like, hey, where's Hayden Christensen at? They're like, he's in the building across the street.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who else is there? It's just him.
Yep.
And people waited like 8 hours in line just to take a picture, get an autograph. And it's like, wow.
So he's one of the most famous Star Wars actors. And it's just so weird that it took this long for that. I mean, of course, it makes sense because the kids grew up and they are now adults and they are now able to show their love and speak loud. And those same people are saying the 7th and 8th and 9th movie don't exist, but we're not going to talk about that.
James, I didn't.
That argument always makes me laugh, though, when I see them like, man, it's just the first 6. 7, 8, 9 don't even exist. And I'm like, man, when you were a kid, you had people saying it's 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3 don't even exist. Anyways, so yeah, it was really cool to see Hayden Christensen out there, and I believe Haley posted a picture. She got a photo op with not just her and her friends, Hayden Christensen. Yeah, so she got to meet him this week, and I believe she's met him already before. And apparently she said he recognized her and her friends, but I love when celebrities go, yeah, of course I remember you. You're like, no, you don't, man. Don't even pretend to say you remember me. Like you see thousands of people a week. There's no way but maybe they do. Maybe they are honest when they say that. I don't know. But yeah. So are you looking for that picture?
Yeah, I found it. I just got to transfer it, but
oh, okay. But
Yeah, I mean, and Hayden will hug you. He will
mhm,
touch you. I mean, but it seems like it's very few and far between when you ask a celebrity now when you buy their photo op, they won't like let you put your arm over their shoulder or kind of like give them like a side hug or do some pose where like you're back to back with them.
mhm.
I've only had one
Or
experience where somebody, well, they didn't tell me personally, but I heard in the front of the line and I heard online, they're like, you can't touch her. You're not allowed. And I'm like, okay. But I mean, still the picture came out great anyways. And I
uh,
figured out how to kind of um, address that situation without having it be like two people standing far away from each other kind of awkwardly.
mhm.
So yeah.
I heard it was Avril Lavigne's her pictures with her. They're like on one side of the frame and she's on the other. Anyways, um, oh, there's the picture. He got the picture up there, but it's about to pop up. But yeah, so glad Hayden Christensen is getting that love, and of course we're going to see him in season 2 of Ahsoka. And apparently he had to cancel an event because he was filming scenes about a month ago for Ahsoka season 2. So that is very exciting. And of course, as y'all know, what was that Shadow Warrior with him in season 1 was shown in theaters across the nation, sold out theaters, by the way. And it was one of the highest rated episodes of that whole year, not of Star Wars, but like that whole year of all the shows. It was like top 5 of the highest, like the most watched and the most highly rated episode of that whole year. So he's got some pull there, man. If Star Wars is smart, which it sounds like they're finally getting smart, they are putting him everywhere and people will go and see him again. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, I do have the picture of Haley with 2 of her friends we don't know. So
Sorry.
here it is, though. Sorry.
But yeah, there they are.
Isn't that great? I mean, he has his arm over that girl and has his hand on her arm. I mean, just imagine being that girl and she's a fan. She's been a fan all her life, and then he does that to her.
Yeah.
I
And there's
mean,
Haley, of course, on the side holding his
that's
arm.
the freaking best when a celebrity you've loved and watched forever and they're that friendly with you.
Mhm.
That's what the cons are all about, James.
Why are you preaching to me? I know this. All right. I know. Hey, I got that picture with Ryan Johnson. He put his arm around me. That was pretty cool. That was
Yeah,
pretty cool. Throw that out
that's
there.
the lesson that I've been trying to tell people. You got to give the people what they want.
And it
This
looks
is what
like,
people want.
and yeah, it's just
Friendly, smiling, genuine. When I talked to Daisy Ridley this year, super genuine, super friendly. I became a bigger Daisy Ridley fan this year because of that. Because she didn't just annihilate my questions that I asked her.
so.
So
Let me throw this at you, Daisy Ridley. I think Daisy Ridley. What happened with Hayden Christensen is going to happen with Daisy Ridley in about 5 or 6 more years. I think that.
it's it's a little different with her because she does have a decent fan base.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like
And
she's
the maturity of the internet is allowing that more so than what Hayden went through. Because that was the infancy of the internet when the prequels kind of went down. But now the internet has matured to a point where everyone's talking to each other, everyone can share pictures, share ideas very quickly. There's social media. So it's a little different with her, but I don't want Star Wars to keep Daisy Ridley away for too long.
yeah,
They
it's
gotta
already been a
film.
while.
Yeah, man. But I mean, she still pretty much looks the same.
Yeah.
But the idea was to have her 15 years in the future, starting a Jedi Academy, that whole thing. I'm just like, you gotta get her back in, man. I mean,
Very
she
soon.
looks in real life, she looks like she could play a superhero. I mean, she's fit, and that's the thing that I kind of came away from. Like, you could tell. I mean, she's got muscle. I mean, yeah, like seriously. I mean, she's she would. I don't think she would ever play like a damsel in distress type.
Oh no.
You know,
Yeah, I
really,
agree.
really kind of like on the heels of like Princess Leia like taking charge and everything.
But I'm just saying, like in a couple of years, I think she's also going to be. I mean, she's already loved, but I think she's going to also the Star Wars, the kids that grew up with the sequel trilogy are going to welcome her with open arms in the future because we're already coming up 10 years from the Force Awakens. I mean, 10 years ago this year, around this time, I was freaking out because Force Awakens was coming out. So that's weird to think. It's been 10 whole years. And before we move on to our next topic, I'm still mad that Lucasfilm has not done anything or said anything or hinted at anything about a Force Awakens 10-year celebration of some kind, like a logo, something, anything, a re-release. I mean, it's kind of weird that I really hope they don't ignore it. Is what I yeah.
You know, a lot of people, reality's weird. A lot of people for years and years have been wanting the sequels not to count in canon. They're like, decanonize the sequels. And I think you, me, just about everyone that had any type of sense to them was like, that's not going to happen. There's no way. I'm not saying it's gonna happen or there's a possibility of it happening, but there's a lot of like momentum towards that idea. And it seems like stuff is coming out in media and certain people's opinions are out there. And it seems like Lucasfilm isn't saying anything about or addressing, and they don't have to.
No.
But it's interesting, kind of like the AI Vader. He could actually talk negatively about the sequel trilogy, and it was never like censored or removed or anything. So it's interesting.
What gets me is 20 years ago people were saying the prequels were not Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like 20 years ago people were saying this is not Star Wars. Do not watch 1, 2, and 3. George Lucas lost his way. George Lucas doesn't know what he's doing. This is not Star Wars. And then now it's like the kids who grew up are also now repeating that, saying 7, 8, and 9 are not Star Wars. Disney ruined it, and this and that. And it's like they're for me, it's Star Wars. It's all Star Wars, and it's the story. It's the next episodes in the story, and I think we just keep building off of it, and then create more adventures, and then go forward. I don't know. People who go like we need to decanonize it. It's like, and then do what with it? What are you gonna do? Like, Carrie Fisher's gone. All right, it's you're gonna remake episode 7 with Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill. And Harrison Ford has been trying to get out of this thing since Empire Strikes Back. He's not coming back for episode 7. So it's just be happy. Not just be happy. I hate to say that, but like we got to see them. We did get to see him. We did get to see the passing of the torch to the next generation, which is what this trilogy was supposed to be. And it's great. It's over. It's done. We did it. I loved it. A lot of people loved it. Tons of people loved it. And it's like, okay, let's just move on into the next chapter of Star Wars and do not decanonize it. There you go. That's my welcome to my TED Talk. So
yeah.
Anyways,
so the next topic, James, is ASAJJ Ventress. I think she's your favorite character, isn't she?
She is my favorite character. No, it's funny. She's so ASAJJ Ventress, I know, is a lot of people's favorite character. She is a great character, but my knowledge of her is very, very small. I do know that she was kind of the she was originally supposed to be was it episode 2 or episode 1 where George Lucas was playing around with having a woman a villain. Was it episode 2 or 1? Which one? I remember there was
and
this is kind of that's where she was then pulled from those talks and then put into Clone Wars.
Right.
And of course we all know she was Dooku's apprentice, and
yeah. So she made a big comeback. this past calendar year, I guess, in Bad Batch, as you can see on the right hand side if you're watching this on video. And then, of course, her typical look is the bald head, white face, dual red curved hilt lightsabers. And I first saw her in the animated Clone Wars that I completely fell in love with. And there's a little bit of reference online to her characterization here, and I'll read a little bit of it. As you hinted at, the creation before the character of Count Dooku was developed, the art department for Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones developed a villainous as a potential main antagonist. So you were right, James.
Nice.
Yeah, the portrayal of ASAJJ Ventress was voiced by Gray Delisle in the 2003 Clone Wars micro series, and by Nika Futterman in the 2008 animated film Star Wars: The Clone Wars and its subsequent TV series, as well as most of her video games. Her appearances: the Clone Wars, Ventress is the antagonist in the 2008 The Clone Wars film. As the disciple of Count Dooku, she helps him with a plan to turn Jabba the Hutt against the Galactic Republic by kidnapping his son, Rada, who we will see in The Mandalorian Grogu. Ventress fights Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker and apprentice Ahsoka Tano, who rescue Rada and later also battles Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, who defeats her, forcing her to flee. Spoilers for the Clone Wars film in 2008. Ventress is a lead character in all 5 broadcast seasons of the subsequent Clone Wars animated series. In season 1, Ventress travels to the moon of Ragusa. I hope I said that right, Colin. As Dooku's emissary to form an alliance between the planet Toydaria and the Separatists. The king of Toydaria is reluctant, but allows her forces to face Yoda in battle to prove which side is superior. When the king decides to side with the Republic, Dooku gives his assassin permission to kill the king, so they may have a better chance with his successor. And it goes on to basically spoil all that in the Clone Wars, so I won't read it. Also, another thing that people point to is Dark Disciple, the 2015 novel based on unfinished episodes from the Clone Wars. Ventress teams up with the undercover Jedi Master Quinlan Vos, who is another fan favorite, who I think a lot of people would love to see in live action, who is an un-Jedi-like, in an un-Jedi-like mission to kill Dooku. Ventress does something with Vos. I don't want to spoil too much. And of course, there's some dark side turns. And of course, Dooku uses Force Lightning in the book. Now, she appears, like I said, in the Bad Batch. So in January 2024, which I thought it felt more like, it was last year. Technically. Time's moving weird as when you get older. The season 3 trailer revealed that Ventress had survived the events of Dark Disciple, which that was like a big controversy because people thought she was gone. And would appear in the season storyline. Brad Rao, the supervising director of the Bad Batch, said that the appearance would be faithful and not contradictory to the events of the book, but people just couldn't reconcile that. Some people. She comes face to face with the clone Force 99, and despite getting in a fight at first, she ends up coming to the aid of Omega, spoiling the Bad Batch if you haven't seen it. But she does appear there. People had some interesting thoughts about her appearance because they were like, okay, so is there going to be a spin-off show? Are we going to see more of her? Because she kind of came and went pretty quick. But yeah, she has a lineage. The first place I saw her was, of course, the micro series, Star Wars Clone Wars. I fell in love with those. And yeah, that's pretty much all that I'm familiar with the character. I know there are a lot of people that love her. I met probably the best in world on our planet cosplayer for ASAJJ Ventress. Her name's TJ. She's real good friends with Colin. She knew Colin. They kind of hung out, and you could tell they were close friends. But I actually gave her. So my birthday was last Sunday at Rebels Comic Con, and we asked her if she wanted a piece of cake. She said no at first, but then she tried it because it was just out, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she was like, how many people put their hands on it? But we were being very sanitary with like knives and forks and picking up pieces and cutting. And she ate some. She fell in love with it. It was bunt cake. It was bunt birthday cake. I know that sounds weird, but
Bunt cake.
yeah, bunt cake. Did I not enunciate enough
No,
there?
that's my big fat Greek wedding reference. If
Oh,
anyone
okay.
understands that. Anyways,
Everyone that I gave a piece of cake to loved it. It's
yeah.
I believe I'm trying to get the name of the company right. I think it's in Frisco or Allen or Wiley, one of those cities that are close by in Dallas. It's called Everything Bunt Cake. So,
Clever.
yeah. It was good. A lot of people loved it. But yeah, she's a world-class cosplayer. I'm pretty sure that most people are aware of her. She's got a huge following. But there's a rumor out there that came out from Screen Thrill that Jendi, or however you want to say his name, Jendi Tartakovsky, the guy that did the micro series, he's open to returning to Star Wars for a live action ASAJJ Ventress project. So, what do you think about that, James?
I mean, seeing how Lucasfilm has been doing with some of their like announcements and live action, I don't see it happening ever. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see a live action ASAJJ Ventress. Would it be cool? Of course it would be cool, but I see it not happening at all. Lucasfilm is trying, they're doing everything they can to get gets these movies going. They have, a couple of Disney Plus shows that they're getting going. Yeah, there's no way we could ever get a ASAJJ Ventress spin-off show. So that's my opinion. And I know a lot of people might be disappointed, but a lot of people might also understand what I mean when I say there's no way.
Yeah, and I'm like, the director of the Clone Wars micro series is up for doing a live action movie with ASAJJ.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know him for anything outside of like animation stuff. So I don't know if it's just one of those things where he's just like saying just something kind of random in a way and people are just running with it. But ASAJJ is one of those characters where she has a fan base. She has that Boba Fett type quality to her.
Mm.
She's a little, I mean, not as much as Boba Fett, because of course we barely like saw him in the movies, but she has enough intrigue to her. I mean, she's kind of outside of the normal Star Wars character. There's a lot of backstory and history to her, and I think there are possibilities with her, but like we just kind of talked about earlier with the Rey film being on hold and that film being on hold and that film being shelved and Taika's still doing it, that whole thing. It would be a little odd for an ASAJJ Ventress live action thing to just randomly
out of nowhere
bubble up beyond those other projects that seem like they have a lot more earning potential.
And I'm going to say this about ASAJJ Ventress is what's going to happen to her is what's happening to Hondo at Galaxy's Edge. When people see Hondo, when I worked there, they would just go, "Who is that? Who is he? I've never seen him before. I have no idea who that guy is."
Yeah,
that was more. I heard that more than I heard. Oh, that's Hondo. I would say that this is Onaka Transports, and they're like, "Who's Hondo Onaka?" Like nobody had any idea who Hondo Onaka was. So I think if you do this with this character, you're gonna have a huge part of the general audience who has no idea who she is. So I think it's one of those things like, yeah, like I said, would be cool, but there's no way. There's no profit with them as a character. So, but hey, bring them into Ahsoka. Bring them into something. In the Filoni verse, if she's still alive. Then you do your spinoff. But just to announce a spinoff with her, no way.
Yeah.
So, that's sorry. I know it's a little bit of a downer, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. A little bit of a downer. But I got home last night from work from delivering pizza. and
Uh-oh.
I get on my phone, and the first thing I always do is I always text James, let's podcast, and I get no response. And I called James. I went to voicemail, and I'm like, okay, he's doing something. He's either asleep, watching a movie, spending time with his wife. And then I leave him a voicemail. I'm like, hey, there's an Andor pop up on Sunset Boulevard, which is how many feet away from your current location?
Sunset Boulevard is right. Like, I live between Sunset Boulevard.
Hit Sunset Boulevard where you're at.
If I could, yeah, if I went on my roof and threw a rock, I could probably hit Sunset Boulevard and probably mess up a car really bad. But I don't want to do that. But yeah, I live between Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard. So Sunset is very, very close.
So very excitedly, I was trying to tell James, you need to get to Sunset Boulevard because there is an Andor pop-up on the street, and tons of people were out there. Found out later that you had to have been invited. So yeah, it was a pop-up. There was magazines, newspapers, props from the series, props that I don't think we kind of saw up front on camera, and I don't think some props we like realized that were in the show. But I got a few pictures if you're watching us on video. So there you see all the magazines. You see some of the props. You see Cassian's helmet that he wore. You see the Gorman spider. You see one of the EMP charges on screen there. And yeah, you see all the magazines there. There's a little Andor action figure. And you see newspapers to the left there, I think. And you see a shirt, the top left-hand corner. I got more pics of that. Here's another picture of all the people. And Tony Gilroy comes out of nowhere from across the street, walks up very casually. Of course, everyone there is freaking out. He's there. I don't know if the people that got invited knew he was going to show up, but they acted like it on social media. So he's there. He's talking. He's taking pictures of the people. I don't know if he signed stuff, but he was there. You can see that awesome Rebellion shirt with the Andor logos.
And the date.
And the date, dude. So this was all like premeditated. And there's this shirt.
So I believe this was this was for their Emmy push. I think this is the Emmy campaign for Andor. Sorry, but go on.
Right. So yeah, you can see all these like magazines and books, and I mean, if James just goes down to the trash cans out there, maybe he'll pull one out or something. I don't know.
Maybe I'm trying to see. I couldn't see the cross, like what cross street that is, though. Yeah. I don't know Sunset and what it was on.
Yeah,
but
so yeah, we see our buddy Gabe from Gabe's Empire. He just rebranded his channel there, and I took some screenshots from his Instagram, and I'll put them up on screen. Yeah, so Cassian Andor's Sinar test pilot helmet there, you can see. Here's another shot of it with the fractal radio code crystal. Another one with the Imperial Senate access card, Amina Rao General Store provisions, and you can see I love the kind of like their version, Star Wars' version of like the Red Cross in a way. You've seen a lot of video games as well. There's food credits from Mina Rao, and there's a couple more credit stuff you'll see here. Here's a Stormtrooper toy helmet.
Oh.
So this is like a kid's helmet.
Yeah, on the planet in the first 3 episodes, the Wheat Planet, if you may.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe one of the kids were running around wearing those, and they were playing them with their fake blasters.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. And here's another shot of it. There you can see a painting of Marva that was made for use on screen, which is fantastic. I'd love to have that. And a closer shot of the Gorman spider. It says Gorman Souvenir Gorlectopod. I don't know if you could buy that or take that, or that was just like
I think that was just display. Yeah.
Gorman credits, which are cool. I'd love to have that. Closer look at the EMP slap charge. Rails acid bottle, Luthen Rails acid bottle. The Imperial Senate access card, which looks like something from like Earth that has like the little little contacts there. Also the provisions, we saw that already. The painting of Marva, and more food credits. So really cool. I wish we got invited. James is right there, guys.
I know. I was right.
Send us those invites. James is in Hollywood.
I'm right there. I'm right here.
James could go there and post it all over our social media, podcasts about it.
And man, can we just acknowledge? I know maybe you weren't too crazy, but just how great Andor season 2 was. I mean,
it was
okay.
Great.
Good.
I really liked it, man.
Okay, just making sure. Just acknowledge how great Andor season 2 was. And I wore an Andor shirt the other day. I went to Trader Joe's down here in Sunset, and this guy was like, "I like your shirt." I was like, "Oh, thank you. Have you watched it?" He goes, "What?" I was like, "Andor." He goes, "No." And I was like, "Then why do you like my shirt?" But anyway, he just liked the symbol here.
James story.
But on the back it says Andor, and I wore it to Celebration. I wore it for the Andor panel. He was like, "No, I don't want to watch that, man. Disney's just ruining Star Wars. I'm not gonna." I was like, "Dude, watch Andor." And then he goes, "You know which one I really, really liked? Obi-Wan Kenobi, man." He goes, "That one was amazing." And I was like, "Okay, all right, cool." It just goes to show you that Star Wars is for everybody. There's Star Wars for somebody there. Okay, so don't, anyways. But yeah, I was like, "Dude, watch Andor." He goes, "All right, I'll give it a shot." I was like, "Trust me." So, but yeah.
Lucasfilm, if there's any more pop-ups or anything like that, send us an invite and James will be there ASAP. He'll drop what he's doing and bring balloons.
I'll bring balloons. Yeah.
The audio people have no idea.
Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, you saw some balloons pop up. But yeah, it was really cool that they did that for the Emmy push for Andor. 14 Emmy nominations, 0 for the performers, which I don't understand how not a single actor or actress was nominated for an Emmy. It felt like
it's weird.
Almost every actress in that series could have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress or Best Actress. Every single actress in Andor was incredible. And of course, Diego Luna and Stellan Skarsgård were just fantastic. And it's like, and even what's his name? Oh, Cyril, forgot his name. Best supporting actor right there. Like, yeah.
I saw him walking around this weekend.
That's crazy that you just said that. But yeah, not a single actor or actress was nominated for an Emmy. So
yeah,
that's such malarkey, if you ask me.
Yeah, Kyle Soller is a lot bigger in person than I thought he was going to be. Not as tall as I thought he was going to be, but he was like stockier than I thought. Like he looked very skinny in Andor. No, he looked decently solid. I was like, okay.
I wonder if he's normally like that, but for Andor, they wanted him to be a little smaller.
Yeah.
I like that he recreated his laying down.
Yeah, he fell down on the couch. Yeah, that was really cool.
I like they asked him, "What made you do that?" Like when the show came out, like what made you do that action? And he was like, "Well, it was one of those things where I was like, this is what I would do in real life if this situation was happening." He was like, "That's the only thing I could think of to do is to go lay down."
Yeah. From what I observed, Kyle Soller was digging Rebel Scum Con.
Nice.
The fan interactions were great, and everyone that told him stories, he listened and he dug it. That's what I love. That's why when our Star Wars celebrities come to the convention and they're in it, they're into it. They get it. They get what's going on, and there's great interaction. It was fantastic, and I was constantly, like I told you before, our table was right at the entrance, and on the opposite side of the wall there was the signing area. So anytime they wanted to go use the restroom, I let them go use the restroom. But when they
good.
When they came back, I had a very cool interact. Man, I can't even remember some of them anymore.
Mm.
But I talked to everyone, James. You should have been there, James.
Okay, I know.
I've seen it. So Simon Casanetti's came out, and I was like, "Hey, Simon, thanks for coming to Texas, man." And of course, he has an English accent, I believe, and he's like, "Yeah, right on." And I like put my hand out there for a handshake. He's like, "Oh, I just washed my hands," and he gave me a fist bump. And we talked for a little bit, and it was cool. It was a cool interaction. He seemed genuinely happy to be there, which was great. He did a big Mando panel. Same thing with Tate Fletcher, who's been on our podcast. We've had him on. He was super cool, and he was like, "Yeah, man." And I don't really remember the conversation, but I just remember it was great. I thanked him for coming to Texas, coming to Rebel Scum Con. Thanked him for being on the podcast in the past, and he just said, "Definitely, this is it's a great family, the Star Wars family." And I had just gotten a new Star Wars wallet, and on the front of it is Paz Vizsla, and I pulled out my wallet and I showed
Nice.
So Paz Vizsla has seen my wallet. Yeah, that was really cool. Who else was there, James? Dennis Lawson walked by our table like 10 times, James. Just Wedge Antilles just walking by. And he looked like Wedge Antilles.
Yeah, I was gonna say he
really
looks like
him. I'm like, oh my God. That's just so random.
Thank God he was in Star Wars, because of him, we got Ewan McGregor in Star Wars. Just saying. Yeah. Not really, but you know.
Michelle Ang walked by our table several times, and I got to say hi and bye to her because she was on her way to do something. Emily Swallow.
Wow.
That might have been the best one. I was able, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'll say it anyways.
Okay.
I was able to intercept Emily Swallow from her going to the place where she was supposed to sign, because she was talking to someone. She was looking towards our direction. And I just went for it. I was like, "Hey, Emily, thank you for coming to Texas. It's great to have you back in Texas." And then she looked at me and she's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, thanks." And I said, "We were just talking about you." And then she stopped and she goes, "Hopefully good, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And I just happened to have the Rebel Scum Con armor pin right here on my lanyard. And I said, "Yeah, see, look." And it was so small, she had to walk to our table, get super close.
Clever.
Like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that existed." And I'm like, "Yeah, you can actually get them here at the convention." And she's like, "That's so great." And then, of course, what always happens in my life constantly, someone interrupts my conversation and butts in and takes that person I'm talking to away from me. Happened. I don't know if it was like a handler. I think it was like one of her close friends that she wasn't expecting to see. So she removed her from the Star Wars stuff table. But
what a shame.
It's great. It's great to see her. I mean, she's always lovely, and she's another one of those people that they're just like super into being in Star Wars and being at the convention and talking to the fans and just being a great human being. I mean, she's just wonderful. You always want to see her.
Yeah.
And I mean, so many interactions like that. Like I told you, it's like, I don't know if I can remember everything, because it was pretty much every single celebrity except for Katie Sackhoff. It probably would have been Katie Sackhoff, but her flight got delayed, and she showed up late to her panel. And they held the panel a little bit because they knew she was like en route, because it was her, Simon Casanetti's, Tate Fletcher, Emily Swallow, and then it was actually Simon's birthday the past Thursday, and they brought out his Mando helmet as a cake.
Oh my gosh.
And they put it right next to him, and I guess they ate the cake or whatever. They sang happy birthday. And of course, I got sung happy birthday at the table when my sister-in-law brought the Bunt birthday cake. And okay, James, man, you should have been there, James. So there was people at the table, like strangers, James, strangers at the table. The cake is put down. Somebody just like in the nosebleeds. I don't even know who said this. They were like, "It's your birthday," and then I was like, "Who said that?" And then I was like, "Yeah, it's my birthday." And then everyone was like, "Happy birthday, happy birthday!" And then my sister-in-law just started singing "Happy Birthday," and before you knew it, like 20, 30 people around us just were singing "Happy Birthday" to me, and it was funny. It was like a skit because once it was over, people were like clapping, and I was like looking around, and I'm like, the UPS guys clapping for me. The arcade people over there are clapping for me. I think the virtual cantina people were clapping. The Line Force people were clapping. Who Line Force is great, by the way. I've known those guys since I got to know them better last year. We've always been Facebook friends, but yeah, it was just great, man. It was
awesome.
a great experience, and it's another one of those like all-time conventions, I think. And they're gonna have it again next year, so we're looking forward to that. Hopefully, James is at that one.
Yeah.
My brother was expecting you, and I was like, "Yeah, he's not coming." He's like, "James ain't coming. What the heck?" He's like, "He's just Colin with no Wookiee costume." Colin didn't bring Chewie.
Oh
He
man.
decided not to. And my brother was like, "I told everyone Chewie is gonna be in my house," and Colin was like, "I apologize."
That's awesome.
But yeah, we did a raffle for the Anakin Obi-Wan Black series that I got from San Diego Comic-Con, which turned out great. We were able to kind of replenish our funds for the next convention, and today I bought some more stuff at Walmart for the convention to have for our prize wheel, and I bought something for myself, which I rarely do, but James has this, I think, maybe on his table. Maybe we can compare.
What is it? I'm a little nervous now. What is it?
I showed you earlier today what it is, James.
What was it?
Or maybe I didn't. My bad. I don't
No, you were too busy looking for your headphones case. You didn't show me anything.
know. Earlier today.
Oh yeah. Wait, where is mine?
It's the Hot Wheels version.
Oh, I have
N1
the
Starfighter.
I have the
Squadron?
Target one,
Oh,
and then I also have the Hot Wheels, but I have the Mando one.
right.
From same
Okay,
Hot
so
Wheels.
yeah, this is Hot Wheels, and it comes with a neat little stand here. You can like place it on the stand and have it pointed different directions or whatever when you put it on your desk or whatever. So that's kind of cool. But of course, yeah, big fan of the N1 Starfighter. James and I are.
Yes.
But the other thing too, at the Rebel Scum Con, I was, I don't know if they were just handing these out to people or if I was special and got these.
We're gonna say you were special and got it. All right.
Okay, so if you remember back when they had the merch for The Force Awakens, Hot Wheels came out with the Darth Vader car that looked like
Yeah.
a helmet. Okay. Wasn't too big of a fan. I'm not too big a fan of Hot
I
Wheels.
remember that though.
I don't collect them. But also the Daisy, well, not Daisy, Ray, the Ray car where she's riding the Fudgesicle speeder. Somebody just gave me those out of the package, and I took them, and I was like, wow, I actually do like these. And I was like playing with them at the convention, and I was able to keep them. I brought them home. I didn't lose them. So now I'm like thinking, am I a fan of Hot Wheels Star Wars?
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, oh my God. And of course, I got this today, the N1 Starfighter, which is a decent size. And I've always, especially in my childhood, I was always a fan of these smaller ships because I could actually like play with them. When I did play with toys, I don't play with toys anymore, of course. But yeah, that's an awesome one too, James.
I love this one.
Yeah. Darth Maul's.
And I keep it here on my desk at all times. I pick it up and I just fly it around whenever. I have 2 Millennium Falcons here in front of me as well. So yeah.
So yeah, that's what I picked up for myself. I got a lot of stuff, and yeah, I bought a lot of pins.
Nice.
I have it close to me, so I'll just pick it up and show everyone.
Okay.
So here is the lanyard that I bought. And of course, if you look closely, there's the Emily Swallow pin.
Nice.
Or the armor pin, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, Emily Swallow has seen this pin on this line. So they did a great job with the pins. Hopefully the Star Wars Stuff podcast booth will have a designated pin. There were some blind packs, mystery packs, and I pulled this Chewie out of it right there. A lot of people wanted the Chewie. There's a Thrawn, the 3PO, a Grievous,
That's
Boba.
so cool.
And this Captain Phasma, it's all chrome.
Nice.
So yeah, and there was my content creator badge. So yeah, that was cool. And he had to buy the lanyard. And I met the guy who was kind of in charge of it. And of course, we want to have our own pin for our booth next year. Hopefully, pretty sure there's gonna be a different design. But we had a lot of people ask, "What's your pin?" And I had to tell them, yeah, we weren't involved. And I just broke my Star Wars heart. But next year I want to be involved. So Bobby, Josh, Kentucky, Star Wars Stuff podcast wants a pin. And hopefully we do something a little bit more special next year, because we didn't have any RSC branded stuff. A lot of people did. A lot of people had coins, patches. So we have enough time in advance that we'll do something. And James should be there.
Yeah, I'll be there next year.
And if he isn't, he will be. He'll get an official write-up. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Did you have anything else to talk about, James?
No, I'm just glad to be podcasting again, and looking forward to SpaceCon coming up here very, very quick, very, very soon. It'll be here, and as well as LA Comic Con, as well as going to be happening here very soon. So, where David might be here for that one. We'll see.
I might surprise James's wife and end up sleeping in her apartment.
Yeah, back here, back here behind us. So yeah,
we might be podcasting in person. You never know. It might be me, James, and two of our very special friends.
Yeah, I mean, all four of us podcasting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. We'll throw that at them. See what they say.
That'd be fantastic. So yeah, look for that. Also, we have our recap episode with Will and Grayson and Carly King out. They had a lot to say, which was great. I wanted them to talk the majority of the time. It was fun. It was interesting. They had their point of view. Grayson is terrific. Along with Will, they do a Focus Determined podcast, and they interviewed people that were totally off limits, like Sam Witwer and I think Katie Sackhoff too. They're in the process of releasing those, so check those out. Also, of course, Carly King. I know a lot of people know who she is. She got up and sang. And it's on the podcast. You can hear about it. But I saw her with my own eyes. When she got up on stage, I was like, okay, she's either very nervous and very shy, or she just got this. And of course, she said on the podcast, she's a musical theater person. So she got up there and just like crushed it. And I'm like, gosh, man, she's really talented in a lot of things. She's a great, I don't know how to say this, a lightsaber wielder. There's a lot of videos of her swinging a lightsaber around. She's very natural with it.
Nice.
I would like to see a duel between her and Colin. And Colin did duel someone, and he talked about it on that podcast. And he left marks on that celebrity.
Oof.
And I told him, Colin, you cannot hit the celebrities. And he's like, it was a lightsaber duel, man. I mean, you got to go 100%. And I'm like, that. And then I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, he's a pretty tough dude. And I think it made sense. And I think he was the only one to defeat that certain celebrity.
Of course, Colin.
He's got pictures. There's video of it. Colin got all into it. His second attack was him doing like a slide on the ground, swinging the lightsaber. And I'm like, Colin, man, you're fighting for your life or something here. Your family, it looks like. But yeah, he went all out and he won a brand new lightsaber.
That's so cool.
And I saw it, and he was like, David, you got to ship me this lightsaber. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to ship more stuff. We're already shipping all this other stuff. And he's like, and he didn't even say anything. He just took it apart. He connected it to his backpack, and he just took it on the plane. And once he landed, he was like, yeah, they didn't tell me anything about the plane about it on the plane. So essentially, when you go on a plane with a lightsaber, you shove the hilt inside your bag with the blade sticking out, or disconnect it and have the blade a little bit sticking out. And they're cool with it. I mean, I've gone to a celebration like that before. I think it was 2017. Southwest never told me anything. And then, of course, I took the 2 Black Series Hayden or Anakin Obi-Wan figures on the plane. And no one really batted an eye. But most of those people were at Comic-Con, so they kind of understood the challenge of the protecting those 2 very important items. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And thank you so much, guys, for walking up to the table. And I do want to give 2 shout outs to 2 of our listeners that came to the table. Ken, who came to the table, and Anne, that came to the table. She talked to me a whole lot. She was one of those people that would pass by, wave, smile, back and forth, going in and out of the convention to a different spot, because they had the droids kind of towards the front, and then another entrance plus another panel entrance past us before you left the con for general admission. So yeah, we saw each other a lot. She said she listened. Ken said he listened a lot. So I was just like very thankful, and we had some good conversations. And
nice.
I loved it, man. It was great. You should have been there, James. You would have loved it, man. It would have.
I know. Financially, I just couldn't go. So.
And I want to say this. Yeah, I know you couldn't go. I'm just kind of playing. But going to Rebel Scum Con really reinvigorated my fandom for Star Wars. And not just like the fandom for Star Wars, but doing the podcast and just everything overall that involves doing what we do and loving what we love in the Star Wars universe. It was a huge love fest, James. There was like 0 negativity there.
That's awesome.
Like 0. Like no one got mad. There were some people that were flustered, but nobody said anything ridiculous. It wasn't like you were online and someone says something ridiculous. It was just a big love fest, man. Everybody was helping everybody. People were recording. People were telling you what they were selling. People were buying stuff. People were getting tattoos. Someone we know got a tattoo. We can't talk about it. It's not me.
It's not me.
But I did contact that tattoo artist a couple days ago, and we had met, and I told him I have an idea for what I want, and maybe at the next Rebel Scum Con next year I'll get it, because James will be able to watch the booth. So yeah, I want something like on my forearm. So if I wear like a shirt, it doesn't get hidden or whatever. And if I apply for another job, I'll just wear a long sleeve shirt.
There you go.
But yeah, it was great, James. It was so great. Unfortunately, you missed out. Everything worked out. And I got to give a shout out to Kathy. She's the person that James and I met in Japan.
Which is crazy to say that, but yeah, we met her in Japan.
Crazy sentence to say, which is legitimate. How did we even meet her? She was just outside the virtual cantina. She came out and said, "Sorry, guys, you can't come in."
But if you go to Rebel Scum, I will help you out. Contact me. Here's my information. and she came in clutch for the podcast and was amazing in helping Colin get those interviews and everything.
Yes, she really came through in a big way. That's essentially how Colin got 19 separate interviews with 19 different celebrities. It was great. Then even Carly King was like, I mean, how did you have enough questions? And I was kind of the same way. I was like, Colin, you're like a professional interviewer now. It's like, and he stayed at my brother's house with me, and I never saw him write a question or ask me about questions. He just did it.
That's awesome.
And yeah, if you watch his Jim Cummings interview, it's excellent too. And yeah, I mean, he's just that guy. I mean, he's just got a nose for that. So a lot of stuff coming up. What I'm probably thinking of is posting the raw video on Patreon for our Patreon members so they can see
Nice
all the interviews. And then maybe we'll probably edit them and release like a few per podcast we want to do whenever we figure out how to release that. But I've seen a lot of it. It's really good, really interesting insight. You talk to Lauren Peterson, and he asked the question, what's something that you would love to talk about that you rarely get the chance to and really don't get a question about? And I want to say I knew this or heard this at some point in my life, but when they did the scene in A New Hope with a guy standing like in Guatemala up that like pole with like the crow's nest and like having the gun pointing out when the ship's leaving, Lauren Peterson was that guy.
I love those stories.
Yeah, of course he had the like
the helmet on. You can't see his hair and
helmet with a big like slope on the back. Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right, guys. It is pretty late in Texas. It's 1 a.m. right now.
11 p.m. here in LA.
So yeah, it's way past James's bedtime. But I just want to say thank you to everyone that came up to us at Rebel Scum Con. Thank you to everyone that listens. Thank you to all the guest hosts that we've had and will have. Just a big thank you to everyone that's kind of involved and helps us do what we do. Big thanks to James for coming on tonight. I know he was spending time with his other half, and I'm like, dude, we got a podcast. We haven't done it in so long.
Yeah, it's been a while. Glad we could though.
Yeah, I'm glad you became free when I requested, unlike the celebrities at Fan Expo Chicago.
Jerks.
It's got to be such a weird like dichotomy for Colin right now, because he's like, I had all the access in Dallas, and now in Chicago
now I have no access.
I have nothing. Wild.
He'll get over it.
Yeah. But all right, and I'll put that picture of Colin and his family on our Patreon, and I'll put it up for free because we mentioned it here, so everyone can see that. And thank you, everyone. I can't say thank you enough, especially to Indiana Solo too. We met him.
Oh, nice.
And we met him at SpaceCon. And me being the dummy that I am, he kept on saying Indiana Solo, and it didn't register that was Indiana Solo from Patreon. And then after a while, it dawned on me, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then yeah, we got to talking more, and this is a great guy. His wife was there. His wife cosplayed as Slave Leia, Return of the Jedi, Ewok Leia, and she pulled it off, man. She has that vibe. So yeah, and he was Solo. I mean, they both complimented each other whenever they did a certain cosplay, and he's actually he told me this. I'm not sure if he's. I mean, it's okay if it doesn't happen, but there's a lot of artwork. He knows Jason Palmer, and they're friends, and there's some artwork that sometimes he doesn't take with him when he leaves San Diego Comic-Con and leaves it there. And he's like, my walls are totally decorated. I have no more room, so he was saying maybe I'll just donate it to the podcast and we could just give it away to listeners. But
that would be that would be amazing. Just saying.
So yeah. I mean that'd be great if that happens. But yeah, we'll be in contact with him, and his wife posed with our banner in the Slave Leia cosplay, which was great. She was like, "Do you want me to get on the table? Do you want me to get on the chairs?" And I'm like, "You can do whatever you want," because I don't know how this is gonna work, but or what's gonna happen. But yeah, it all worked out. Rebels Con was just terrific. I can't say enough about it. I mean, Bobby, Josh, and Kentucky were very welcoming and warm, and we want you here. And they are the only convention, I think, that has said that we are welcome there, like outright. Like we don't have to apply for anything. We don't have to jump through any hoops. They're like, we want you there. You have a spot. Come back and talk about Star Wars. And
that's awesome.
It's great. I'm droning on, but yeah, that's it for this edition of the Star Wars Stuff Podcast. My name is David.
And my name is James.
And
go
be with you.
You. Always.
Where are the balloons?
Oh, we'll do fireworks.
Okay. Bye, guys.